Ow! Ow! My elbow! Oh, my funny bone! Oh, why do they call it that? Hey! Jasmine! Oh! Hey guys, Michael here from Fat to Fit, and I am here with Butch, who is laying down. He'll wave a paw. So in today's episode of Real Talk, I wanted to talk about the mental side of weight loss, because let's face it, when you're losing weight, the physical stuff, it's not actually that hard. You just have to eat less than you expend. Calories in versus calories out, like I've always said, that's not the hard part. What most people find is the difficult part of weight loss is in fact the mental battle, having to deal with cravings, having to deal with cravings, the scales messing with your mind, having to restrict yourself from eating the kinds of foods that other people may be eating around you. And I think it's something that deserves a video on its own. So my experience was with that. When I first started losing weight, it was definitely hard. You have to turn your whole life upside down, and that can really mess with your head. You have to start with the increase in your physical exercise when you probably were doing next to none in the first place. And so you have to change your whole mentality. You have to switch from, instead of going to watch TV, I'm going to go for a walk now. Or instead of going to have that pizza my family's eating, I need to go and make my own meal, and I need to figure out the nutrition behind that and what I should be eating, and just everything. It changes everything, and that can be a struggle for people to come to terms with, that the fact, if you want to lose the weight, that you're going to have to change your life in a big way, because losing the weight, it is not easy at all, and that can be mentally draining for some people, especially when you've been if you're say 6 or 7 months into losing weight. It can become a struggle, because normally, from my experiences, don't knock the camera, after about 6-7 months, my weight loss started to slow down a lot. And when you're expecting, in the beginning, the weight looks like it's dropping off, like you lose kilos upon kilos in the first month alone, which is, of course, now I know that that's mainly water weight, but as a beginner you didn't know that, and if you didn't do your research you wouldn't know that either. So it can mess with you. A lot of people tend to rely on the scales for their progress, so especially me, I'd be checking my weight every day, and eventually I had to teach myself to only check it weekly, because checking it every day was messing with me mentally. The day-to-day fluctuations can really impact the way you see yourself and the way you think you're going with your journey. And but don't he's gonna knock this camera down. And so, as I was saying, the scale can mess with your mind. So what I tried to do is I take progress pictures instead, which helped if the scale wasn't changing much. Bless you. Or I would just try not to look at that scale, because that scale can mess with you so much, and your weight in the morning is different to your weight at the end of the day, and you'll gain water if you eat too much salt one day, and then it'll show up as a couple of kilos of weight gain the next day, and it's so frustrating sometimes, and it's a learning curve I think that everybody has to deal with, and I don't think you'll be able to understand what I'm kind of talking about until you've actually experienced it yourself, which I know a lot of people have, how the scales can mess with your mind. And that's kind of one mental aspect of it. But once you start seeing the changes, I think you start to improve mentally in terms of your weight loss, and as you start to develop a healthier relationship with food and exercise. So I think once you start seeing those changes, it only motivates you more, and pushes you to keep going mentally, which I think is a really good thing, and is one of the good things about losing weight, and once you start seeing those changes. But the mental struggle is definitely real. Even now, after I've lost a lot of my weight, I still have those mental struggles every now and then, especially for someone who tracks calories and macros. It's like sometimes I think, am I eating too much? Even on holidays or parties when I'm not tracking macros or anything like that, it's just I'm eating that bit too much, and it struggles with, it's a mental struggle. And then you're like, oh, do I need to do all this cardio to kind of burn the extra calories I ate? And it's just, these battles are still going on inside my own head. And even though it's been quite a few years since I started my journey, it's something I think that I'll be experiencing for a long time, and I think maybe even for the rest of my life, and that's just part of the journey. But I do think as long as you have that support network around you and you have a little bit of discipline when it comes to food and exercise, it should not be a problem at all with the mental battle. It does hit some people a lot harder than others, and there are support groups and things for those kinds of people out there, especially when it starts to get into the vicinity of developing an eating disorder, which is something you do not want to do. So if you are having mental troubles with your diet, with anything in your life at all, just talk to someone. I think that's the best thing you can do. If you are struggling with the mental side of it, send a message to me, comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have or give you any advice about how to deal with it. And yeah, just the main thing is just keep on that grind, and if you are struggling, get help. I used to be one of those people who never liked asking others for help, very independent, but now as the years have gone on, I've learned to ask for help when I need it, which I think most people should do. Anyway, I don't want to make these videos as long as they've been in the past, as I do think they can get a bit tedious, so I think that's going to be it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have anything to say about this topic or you want me to talk about any topics in the future, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you later, guys. And Butch is being a big pain in the butt, so he says bye too. See you later.